Sonic Racing CrossWorlds is sponsoring the Kids Choice Awards this summer. So that's most likely where SpongeBob is going to get revealed in the Bikini Bottom stage. Yeah. And like all the paid DLC characters, they're going to come with a stage and at least like one to three characters from my understanding. And so like Aang, the Last Airbender. Oh, Aang might get revealed at the Kids Choice Award too. Oh, I guess both of them will get revealed. I guess at the Kids Choice Awards, they're gonna reveal the Avatar movie for the first time. Then they're gonna do the Avatar reveal in the CrossWorlds after that trailer, and then they're gonna do the SpongeBob.
You know what I gotta see though?
And Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Who do you want in? Who else do you want for the rest of the thing?
Who made? Well, I'm trying to see who produced. What was the company that produced the Minecraft movie?
Warner Bros.
Oh, okay. So they just I think it's just with the game because of
Mojang.
They had a crossover in Minecraft like multiple. So
yeah.
But the DLC right now, because the last pack is for sure Ninja Turtles because it's 4 slots.
Yeah.
They said for the last pack.
But
the rest are 2.
They're not gonna take up the whole thing though. They're just gonna be like just like how Steve, Alex, and
yeah, no, they're the last pack.
Oh, because I said the last pack said there's 4 characters. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, that's them.
Okay.
The thing about the back, I understand what Azuka meant by like it almost ruined partnerships because I said the dude who leaked it is in trouble. It's because of Aang.
Yeah.
Because they haven't revealed that
up.
design yet.
Yeah.
It's the adult Aang from the new movie coming out.
Yeah, you know the boys
that no one has seen. And Avatar, you know, part 3 of Avatar, like the new Avatar series they're making. It already leaked earlier this year.
Wow.
Like, so we know what the premise. I'm not gonna say it here.
Yeah,
You probably don't want spoilers for it. And I don't say nothing here. But they like basically the not the whole story, but basically the premise, the main character, like what the main story gonna be about, the concept and everything, and like a little bit of like test footage released. Like it got leaked early. So
I know
whoever leaked that. They leaked it for Nick, and so I can see how it almost ruined it. Because if Nick sees that, and like, you guys let our new design get leaked that we haven't released yet, like that messes up so many things because of what that dude did. And I can understand what Izuka meant. Like it could have killed it. Because remember, like they were actually gonna make a Zelda live action movie before, like it's supposed to come out earlier, but whoever they're working with, Nintendo. Somebody leaked it, right? And they just canceled it.
Damn.
No, it was Netflix series, and they canceled it because it got leaked. Like they were mad about it being leaked. So it's true that like leaks, and considering how close it was to like them showing the stuff, it does suck that it happened. I'm not gonna act like I'm not hyped for stuff because like if I was a kid and I saw SpongeBob and Sonic in the same game, I'd be marking the fuck out. Same with TMNT.
Yeah, look, you would have been
Sonic
wild.
in the same. Like I'm kind of marking out now because it's like they're in the same game. They're not gonna be like able to interact voice wise. It's just the fact they're in the same game together. Like that's like my childhood. Because before Sonic, I was on Sonic like crazy. It was like TMNT, it was Tarzan, it was SpongeBob, and Jimmy Neutron. Really a lot of those first era of Nicktoons, like everything like Hey Arnold and Rugrats and stuff, but I would say out of that, SpongeBob was the most that was attached to. So seeing those 3 in the same game is just crazy to me that it's even happening in the first place. I know it's a kart racer, but still.
Yeah.
And they announced that new Nicktoons game that's an actual action game again, and Timmy is in it.
I didn't realize.
Even though he wasn't in the Smash Brothers game, bro.
I hated that. Like you had Hugh, but you didn't have the full. That's Jimmy Neutron. But yeah, I don't know why they didn't have.
Oh, that made me mad too, because they put him in the game and not Jimmy in the first game, and they rectified that in the second game. I'm like, I get he's a joke, but like, bro,
yeah,
I want to. That's like putting in like Larry Lobster instead of Mr. Crab. I'm sorry, like even it'd be funny, but to me, you can't do that. We have to make a video multiverses one day about it, but really, you can't keep doing stupid stuff like that. When you haven't even established the roster of your first game fully.
Memes will only
like you're still missing key characters. Imagine if Smash did that. Like imagine if Smash added Jigglypuff and no Pikachu in the first game. Like people be mad as hell.
And
that you want Pikachu.
And that's a good way to segue into the season pass, because there's 3 packs the season pass that we don't know yet. I've been thinking, and I think I have three. I think I have three packs that I'd want. Of course, like each pack has multiple characters, so I don't think this wish list would really come true. I mean, one could come true. I have three that I want, because I don't really care for cartoon characters or movie or TV. I don't really care about them. Maybe comic books. I don't particularly care. Like you know.
Damn.
But me, I would want a Crash pack. Crash Bandicoot, Neo Cortex, and Coco. Those three, imagine those three. I mean, but the thing is, I don't think they would do that because of Crash Team Racing. But maybe they would. I don't know, because who knows?
It's only two characters per the rest of those packs. Two
characters. I guess it'd be Crash and Neo Cortex or Crash and Coco. But that would, to me, that would go so hard. I would love, because of you saw the freaking image of Espio with the Triforce next to him. I don't know why Espio, that in this CrossWorld art, they showed Espio with the Triforce like in the background, dog. And I know that in Lost World there was a Sonic and Link collaboration because it was on the Wii U. So I don't think we would ever have, I don't think they would ever, Link was in Mario Kart 8. I don't think they're gonna do that with this game, but that would be so cold. They brought in Link and Zelda, bro. Link and Zelda would go so hard. And then
I agree. It'd be cold. The only thing is that Nintendo does not want to put their stuff in games that are multi-platform. Like Fortnite was supposed to get Samus, but they tried to make it to where Samus only appeared on Nintendo Switch systems, and the deal fell through. So that's the problem with that.
Yeah, but and then the last one I think would be freaking hype is you gotta go to boy Chief, that boy Master Chief, bro.
They putting him in the game,
bro. Yes, they
putting him there.
I can see it because oh, never mind. It's Nintendo has a good relationship with Microsoft. I don't particularly want Master Chief.
Sega does too.
Yeah, I know that I don't particularly want Master Chief. I just think he'd be hype. But like of course, it's stuff like Assassin's Creed or like Spyro or Astrobot. I would really love Astrobot. If Astrobot got in the game, that'd be so hype.
No, if they get a PlayStation character, it needs to be Ratchet and Clank. It needs to be Ratchet and Clank.
That'd be good.
It has to be Ratchet and Clank. It has to be. It cannot be anybody else. Maybe I would say Jack and Daxter, right? Or Sly Cooper and Bentley.
Oh, Sly.
But they're dead franchises right now. They're dormant franchises right now. So that's the problem. Ratchet is current.
They wouldn't do Sly.
Bigger, and it's bigger. I don't think Crash is happening unless they do a thing. Unless they do a thing where it's Crash and Banjo, and I put Banjo there only because. Remember, he was an Xbox exclusive character in the first All Stars Racing.
Oh, okay. Like so they would have a relationship.
But it was that nuts and bolts. It was to advertise nuts and bolts, though. So that was one thing. But I don't think they're gonna sell Banjo to new kids now, because you gotta understand, Smash was it was a legacy thing to even do that as DLC,
and especially as paid. But now, not for the paid.
Yeah, it's paid DLC. Like no kid playing this game gonna know who Banjo is, and that's probably Microsoft's fault. But it's the truth. They'll probably know who Crash is.
Yeah.
They don't think he's homeless now because of all the stuff going on with him. And apparently there is a new Spyro game in the works, but we gotta hope that project stays alive and actually gets revealed.
I mean, if it's new Spyro coming, then they'd want him to be in the game to get that promotion. And and then for the free DLC, of course, it seems like they're hitting on like these Sega characters. I feel like they're gonna put Beat in the game from Jet Set Radio. That's a new game coming out. They're gonna get they need a representative from Crazy Taxi. I know we were discussing this about how they could just do the board, like they had a Crazy Taxi board in the other game in Sonic Riders,
the taxi,
or the car. But I feel like since they already have humans in this game, like humans besides Eggman, I feel like you might as well put that black dude, put like a face to help make a clear face to Crazy Taxi.
Black dude.
Yeah, I never played Crazy Taxi.
Come on, man, that's a black video game all-star. That's BD Joe.
Yeah, I know
his name right.
BD Joe. I
made a video on it.
I've watched that video. I don't remember his name. But I love that Crazy Taxi video. And then, but mainly, I mainly want to make sure there's enough Sonic characters. I need if we're gonna do this mess and you're gonna have like multiple waves of free characters, dog, You better have my IDW, all my IDW heroes. I need you to have my I need freaking costumes. Sonic Dream Team just got some more costumes coming to their game, so I need costumes for characters. I need OG characters. I need like an adventure pack. I need an IDW pack. I need like a villain pack with Mephiles Autumn. Like, I need all of that. Give me all of these Sonic characters. Give me Chaos Zero.
Well, I feel like they're gonna charge for some of that stuff if they get like a season 2, because I think
I
don't think they're gonna put all that stuff.
I think if they're gonna do more free, I feel like it would be more of the people who like, because you have to make animations for all these people, and especially you have to make especially if they're like a human, or like they're much like different proportions. But like if you saw in the footage, even Jet, I was watching some of Jet's animations while he was in the car, and Jet is unfinished. At least he's either unfinished, or he just purposely, half of his tricks and half of his animations are just Sonic's animations. Because when Jet was driving, he was turning around and wagging his finger like Sonic was doing.
Well, Jet kind of does that too. It's just that he does it a different way. But
right.
to be fair, that's what they're doing with like a lot of in these games a lot of the time. Like even Smash, right? If you look at certain characters, they have like there are certain characters that are just a base framework.
Exactly.
Before you make the actual like a new character, and
exactly.
I think like Mark is, I think it's Link. Like for instance with Hero, you can tell like Link was the base framework for like the model into style of that. Like Link was the base model for that. Like Banjo Mario was a base model for like you can match those to that, and they do a lot of. We don't see it, but there are animations that are kind of like repurposed to work within the character. So I mean, they're probably gonna add some new stuff, but I'm just saying like that. Don't be surprised if they do that for some of the characters that are out there.
And that's what I was leading into, is that if they're gonna continue free characters like down the line, probably the free ones will be more of like people like Tikal, people like Surge, people like who literally like has that they're the same size as Sonic and Amy and all of them, and they can reuse a lot more animations.
Yeah,
that's what I think that they would eventually do for the free, but just to save time. And I wouldn't be mad, honestly.
I'm glad they made the Sega characters free, because I said it before, but when Transform came out, well, I said it to you, when Transform came out, they didn't like have a lot of their IPs alive. So when All Stars Racing and Transform had those characters in it, it was more of a celebration of like the history of Sega. Basically, almost everybody in Transform had something like some re-release, some port, except for Skies of Arcadia. Now, Sega's reviving all these IPs. They have current IPs, and now they can put a character there, and if they're free, a lot of these new kids, like I was, remember, you gotta understand, like, the reason I have like a lot of knowledge on these games is because I played a lot of crossover games, right? And that got me into different series, and I want to know people's stories and how they exist and what happened with them. That's what happened with me. You're gonna get new folks, old and young, that are going to look at these characters and be like, this character is interesting. I want to see what their game was. Now there's a new Shinobi coming out. Now there's new Jet Set Radio coming out. It's Jet Set Radio 25th anniversary. Now there's a new, all those games got updated. Yeah, there's new Golden Axe, a new Streets of Rage, and there's another Streets of Rage out, right? Knights is the only one, and we know that's coming, that doesn't have a new game. I don't know if Reala is going to be playable, but from that thing we saw, like those are new renders, and no one's talking about it, but those are new renders based off the Saturn version of Knights, because before Transform used a lot of old renders. Same with the All Stars Racing, and it was Journey of Dreams Knights. Even though like the car was Journey of Dreams Knights, it wasn't the Saturn version. You can tell because there's little extra details on Journey of Dreams Knights compared to like the Saturn version. The fact that they redid both of them tells me they're both playable. But I know
because like, they wouldn't do all that just for it to be like an event in the background, especially when people love Knights. And
you gotta understand that like Reala is like the Shadow the Hedgehog for Knights. Like that's the counterpart. There's Jackal as well, but Jackal was like, that's supposed to be one of Knight's like stronger siblings and looks like, but nobody, like the fight was not as like pushed, you know, compared to Riala. And then Riala was like in Journey of Dreams too. Jackal wasn't, and being a threat in that game. But that's like the shadow to Knights. So I would be surprised if they're both. I would be happy they're both in there. I'm not gonna be mad if Riala's not in there. I wanted Knights, but that I'm not surprised because that is Azuka's baby, and that tells me that they wouldn't do that unless they're gonna make a new Knights game. The issue why they haven't had a new Knights game because they've had to make Sonic games. That's why we haven't had new Knights games. But I think they're gonna prioritize all the Sonic Team projects. That's why I kept telling you like they're gonna put Amigo in there because that was a Sonic Team game. Ooh La La because that was originally a Sonic Team game.
And Billy Hatcher's
and
Sonic
she had
Team,
a new
right?
game come out with Space Channel 5 VR. What'd you say?
And Billy Hatcher's Sonic Team, right? That's by Yuji
Yeah.
Naka.
I think that he won't come back because they're not making a new game for him. And he's like, now he's a bit irrelevant to come back. I mean, he didn't come back in Transformed. But it's like if you're going to put people in those slots, you're going to put people you're going to try to push. And then II is not Sonic Team, but II, Monkey Ball has been getting new games. And it's one of their bigger
really
IPs.
Need to support freaking II.
That targets kids. So like, and he was also in that, you know, that trailer they had where like Sam procrastinated, he was talking about like, oh, I wanted to come back. They focused on him, on II.
Yeah.
Like they showed specifically him, and they showed him on the Amigo stage. So I'm pretty sure he will come in the game. I think the locks are gonna be like Knights, Beat, II, Amigo. Amigo got 2 games. He got a mobile game and a Switch game that came out, and maybe Ooh La La. And keep in mind, most of those characters besides Beat were in the first Riders game, or were in Riders and Zero Gravity together. So it'd be a reunion of those characters in the game. So I think those are the main Sega characters they'll add. We may get Gilius, we may get Joe Musashi, which I hope for. Another one that I see getting added is Alex Kidd, because they're adding him to Sonic Rumble. And that's still crazy to me. They're pushing him. I know he got a remake of his first game, but they're also they did renew his IP for like something new project with Alex Kidd. So we don't know. You know who else is getting a new game? Echo the Dolphin. We're gonna get Echo the Dolphin in the game somehow, like a vehicle or something.
Yeah,
I don't know. But Echo the Dolphin's getting a new game, so that's another Sega IP that's coming back. Like they're just bringing back every fucking thing. Alter Beast got in Rumble, like the fucking Alter Beast.
I remember.
Like that shit was that. I mean, I know I'm trying to. You may not like get the hype behind it because you may not know those IPs, but it's like these are some of these characters that are people they haven't touched in a long time, and the fact they're using them like this is just insane to me. Like the fact they have a mobile game and they put the fucking Alter Beast. And he has different like forms that he had. I know it's like the Centurion, this is his actual name, but come on now, you're gonna call him the Alter Beast. He has different. He's in the Beast forms. And then Oopa Oopa could be a vehicle. There's a hang-on vehicle. The Crazy Taxi thing is just because like I think they're tied to their taxi, which is why I think the Crazy Taxi will be a vehicle and not like a playable character in this game, because they have to get them out of the taxis and they lose part of their identity from that. But I mean, it's not impossible to do that. But then you have like stages like the Galaxy Force. Like there's a fucking Galaxy Force 2 stage. I know I'm hyping this up, man. I know you probably like, what is all this stuff? But if you know how
I'm
old...
sorry, bro. Besides Crazy Taxi and besides like some like references from like the Riders or whatever, basically I have no idea about almost all of these games.
Yeah, but that's a good. That's why you need to be in here so you can learn about it. You get an interest for it.
Yeah,
you gotta have an interest. You gotta have an interest in order to want to learn about something, right? You gotta have an interest. That the interest comes from these crossovers. But like, it's just the fact they pulled that. It's like Galaxy Force 2 is like them. It's like how Nintendo will pull like a random old school character in Smash. Like Game & Watch was the first in Melee, right? Next game was freaking Rob, and how they show Rob. Technically Rob and Lucas, because no one knew who Lucas was. I don't care what people say. Nobody knew who Lucas was until that game, unless you were in Japan. No, don't give me that crap. Well, I knew Mother 3 before it happened. I knew like it was only in Japan. Before. Shut up.
Like 4 people
Like
knew that fool.
Nobody knew who that dude was, but they made him one of the coldest characters in the game for that story. They made Rob look like a badass, right? Because he was the ancient minister. Remember that in that game?
I love.
And then they put Duck Hunt.
And I thought Rob was the original character.
Yeah, I did too. And I looked at wait, that's just one of their toys, and they made this dude like that. Like that was just I don't know, man. They were cooking back then.
That's what sucks. They're not gonna have the story, but you know that's just how multiversal stuff is. Almost any multiversal story, they're gonna fumble. Like I think about like Jump Stars, J Stars. What's it called? Jump Force. Yeah. Like just don't even try. Like that's why I'm glad they're really not doing it. Unless they're gonna do a story that's only gonna focus on just the main characters. And
J Stars didn't even do it right either because it was like this big tournament and it was just pretty much interactions. And then the bad guy was like this dark entity that would just become like a dark clone of the character. You were fighting kids. That was the final boss.
No one would be satisfied. So it's I'm glad that they're being smart. I think they're being smart, in my opinion.
There's only one game that does it, and it's Super Robot Wars. And they actually, what they do is crazy. That's why I keep hyping it up to you like crazy.
This fool J Blast. This fool tells me about Super Robot Wars like every other day. It's full. Oh.
But you gotta understand, it's crazy because not only do they have their original story, but they're pretty much like combining the stories of the series together with their original story. So like you go through the story of like Gundam and stuff, but you have this original story in the background, and some things happen because of like maybe like another show like Mazinger. Some things change because of it, or Macross change. It changes because of that, right? And they actually have to go. There's interactions based off that. Every time you fight a major boss in the game that's from a different series, or even the OG bosses from the original that they make, every single fucking character you play as almost has an interaction with that boss, a voice interaction, unless their voice actor is dead. They have like something to say to that character, which is like you don't see that.
It's just also different when like you have a very big scope for a game as well, like especially like when you're working with making like a 3D, like make a kart race, like you have like all these environments to create and all this stuff. Like the budget is already going to be I think it's just so much harder to be adding all those extra stuff.
Yeah, and like they cut corners too, kind of, because they have like the story is presented more of a visual novel style, but that's because they try to animate the stuff like it's from the show, especially in the later games. Like it looks like it's from like you're watching the anime when they animate like the attacks and strategy RPG. So they do put a lot of budget into it. And then the OG characters have crazy animation, even crazy. They're not limited by like what the creator wants, right? They got Gurren Lagann in one of them, and it's crazy. Like sometimes they keep characters alive that were supposed to die. You gotta save them.
Okay. I know you're just saying.
It's crazy. Like you're never gonna reach that. You're never gonna reach that.
Yeah, I'm gonna be on Super Robot Wars someday, bro. I promise. Or when this new one, I'll see. Maybe I need to actually watch it.